what is your process of general content creation, not just a book, because content is of a lot of different forms nowadays, because of everyone is online and it has literally exploded. So we'll be talking through a bit more around that. So when your first job around DevRel came in, like it was all around strategies around a new company, right? And like circulating content. So what was your process around circulating which type of content? How did you decide on that?
So in the last company, I think I was a bit more focused on content in the form of webinars because that company had a lot of enterprise customers who were looking to gain knowledge in very specific things. And this whole concept of time series database was rather new to me. Like I was familiar with, a few database things, studied it in college, but I found myself coming into this world again, and they're talking about cardinality. I had no clue what that means, and so it was a lot of looking up into
Mhm.
back into database theory classes that I took back in university,
Right.
understanding what that means, and
Mhm.
I chatted with a few community members who also weren't very clear on what all this means. So I was like, okay, this could be an interesting concept because
Mhm.
I've always found it's useful to sort of go to the basics because
Right.
I think a lot of people, like even the companies using that super technical product, might not have that background because they might be new to the
Mhm.
company or it might be their first time working with a database of this sort. So that was the focus there. And I think with
Mhm.
this, with N8N, the goal of content keeps changing depending on
Mhm.
what stage the product is in, what stage the company is in. So I
Right.
joined like mid-April last year, and
Mhm.
at that time we had some minimal documentation around the project, like around installation and so on, and
Mhm.
there was no blog. So at that
Right.
time we asked like, okay, what do we want to do and why? And the
Mhm.
result was, okay, as a newcomer to this company, I absolutely love the product, but I
Mhm.
didn't know what I would use it for.
Right.
And eventually we got to call it the blank canvas problem because people love the project, but they don't know what to do with
Mhm.
it. And
Right.
so that was the problem we sought out to fix. So that was talking a
Mhm.
lot with the community to seeing how existing people are using that, maybe take some of those business use cases, some make some enthusiastic use cases with IoT and stuff, Telegram bots.
Mhm.
So we did a lot of that. And
Right.
over time, I think somewhere around beginning of this year, we noticed that docs were a lot more comprehensive than they were back last April. We had a lot of tutorials, a lot of videos.
Mhm.
So sort of blank canvas problem wasn't the most pushing um,
Mhm.
priority at that point. And then
Right.
we started thinking about the strategies that companies like DigitalOcean or Prisma implemented in terms of how do we use this blog to get people who do not already know about N8N to discover
Right.
N8N. And that
Right.
involved a lot of looking into SEO. What are
Mhm.
people searching for when they reach N8N?
Right.
We did a lot of keyword analysis, keyword volume, keyword
Mhm.
difficulty, really new concepts to me. So got to learn that
Right.
as well. That was very fascinating. And yeah, so I would say, yeah, strategies differ from company to company depending on what sort of persona the product has, but also on what
Right.
stage the company is in.